Hey everybody, it's Christina from Creations with Christina, back with another Silhouette Cameo series video. Today we're going to be making a card using a print and cut image from the Silhouette store. I already have it loaded onto my mat because for some reason print and cut seems to be working a little slow, and I don't know if it was from an upgrade. This is the first time I've used it actually since there was an upgrade for the Silhouette software, so I have everything already loaded to my mat. I thought I would just go over step by step what you need to do, and I'm even going to show you the actual printing and laying it out on your mat and then cutting. So the first thing we want to do is select your page size. I am using 8.5 by 11 paper tray ink cardstock, so I just went over to the page feature, which is the image or the icon up on the top here that has the red square inside of it, and selected that I use letter 8.5 by 11. I went over to the registration marks then and selected the box that says show reg marks, which then brings up this gray area right here, and you want to make sure everything that you're going to print and cut is within that area. So basically what you want to do is make sure it's in this general area right here. I added the my image that I'm going to be using, and I have two of them here. One of them is for my card, and the other one I'm going to use for a Project Life layout. So what I did was this image actually was free this past week for the download, a free download for this past week, but otherwise it's 99 cents, and it's actually called Fall Harvest Print and Cut, and when you open it, it actually opens a print version and a cut version. So sometimes it's just a plain print version, but this one actually has both, so that you can actually use these pieces separately on whatever pattern paper or cardstock you want to use. Let's head back over to my mat here. This one right here is the one I'm going to use for my card. It measures 5 inches by 3 3/4 inches, and this is the one for Project Life, and this one measures 2 inches or 3 inches by 4 inches. So let's go ahead and start with our printing. I'm going to go up to the top here and select File, Send to Silhouette, and because I have a print and cut feature going on here, it automatically opens my print image window. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and select print. We're going to click here to print, and I usually have to change my paper quality, so this time I'm going to go ahead to my quality and select plain paper. Even though I'm using cardstock, I don't have a cardstock option. Usually my printer defaults to a photo paper, so I always have to remember to go in and change it. So I'm going to select plain paper and go ahead and hit print, and my printer's going to go ahead and print it out. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is add your printed image to the mat, and you can see it printed a little square here and then 2 little marks in the upper right and lower left corner. So we're ready to go ahead and add this into our Cameo. So I'm just going to open this up, and you want to line the edge of your mat with the first little mark on the side of the base here. And then we're just going to hit enter to load. Now one thing I need to do is, since I'm using paper tray ink cardstock, I do have to change my settings on my blade. Right now I have it on 4. I'm going to change it to 5. So go right back in here. And now that I have everything loaded onto my mat and into my machine, I'm going to go ahead and continue to cut paper. And it asks you to make sure that your settings are on the roller settings are at 13 inches and so on. So I'm just going to go ahead and click continue because you really don't have to change anything when you're using your mat. And then I'm going to select it to detect the registration marks automatically. As you can see, it's actually reading the registration marks on the paper that we put in. So it takes a second or two to do that. And if it doesn't find it the first time, it will go and do it the second time, but usually it's right on the first time. So the next thing we're going to do is change my paper settings. I'm going to hit change settings. I'm going to keep my speed, well actually we can go up a little bit since it is just basically cutting a square. I'm going to change my blade to 5, and I'm going to keep my thickness on 33 and just hit cut. Okay, so I have my 2 pieces cut out. I have my one that I'm going to use for my card and the one I'm going to use for Project Life, which I'm just going to put that one aside. And the one for my card, what I'm going to do is, you can keep it really simple. Just take this, adhere it to some pattern paper and a card base, and you're done. Or you can dress it up a little bit, which I'm going to dress it up just a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to do is round the corners. I'm going to use the 1/4 inch side. That's generally the side I always go with when I'm rounding corners. The 1/2 inch to me is just too much. But anyway, so rounded the corners, and then the next thing I'm going to do is take some, this is some Versamagic Dewdrop. This is actually called Pumpkin Spice. And I'm going to ink the edges of my card here. Now, this is a chalk ink, so it does take a little bit to dry, so you can zap it really quick with your heat gun. Okay, so there we go. And the next thing I'm going to do is, I have my card base. This is a piece of off-white or ivory cardstock from Paper Tray Ink. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch base card. And then I'm taking some pattern paper, which comes from Lily Bee Designs Autumn Spice collection. And probably every single piece in this collection would work great with this card. I had a hard time deciding what colors to use. I even really like this teal blue color with it. I thought that would be really nice to, just as another color to bring in. So lots of great colors in here for this card. I'm going to use this brown polka dot piece that's in here. Let's see. It's this one right here, to bring out some of the brown from the card. So I have one that's cut 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It's the same size as the front of my card, and I'm just going to go ahead and adhere that down. So probably have to trim it up just a little bit, but I'll do that later on. And then you can either take your piece that you've just cut out with your silhouette and pop it maybe with some dimensionals on the back, and just put it right in the card front and around the corners and make it a really simple card just like that. Or you can go a little bit further with it, which is what I'm going to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is round the corners to my card. And then this will go in the front. But what I'm going to do first off is take some twine, and this is some twine from the Twinery, and I'm going to go ahead and just wrap this around twice. So that adds a nice little touch to the card. And now what I'm going to do is, I have some buttons from this Rocket Age October Afternoon button set. And what I did was I just added some more of that twine to it and added a glue dot to the back. And I'm actually going to put it right over the top of those acorns so that the leaves are sticking out. And the twine, what I did was I just left it sticking out the back of the button. So I'm just going to move this twine, this little bow over so it's sticking off the side. And then we're going to take some dimensionals and add to the back. And there we go. That's our card for today. A list of all the supplies we used to make today's card will be available over on my blog, and the link to that will be in the description of this video if you're on YouTube. And if you have any questions, just let me know. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.